companies, it's not like a new ebook, it's from a long time, and they ask it differently, like it was a survey, and they ask different companies about what they are doing usually, how they can measure the success of the application and so on, of the deployment and development as well. And they found that we have 6 key capabilities to be able to accelerate our software delivery. The first one, use trunk-based development process, which is just small, like don't have like a huge branch, including a lot of commits and so on. No, it should be small to be like to be able to review it and test it and everything. Second one, implement test automation. And test automation actually is a vital part of a mobile DevOps or CI/CD, because if you have a manual testing and you are trying to automate the process of the CI/CD or the DevOps in general, and then you have a manual testing, now you will stuck in this process because you have everything is automated, but testing is still manually, so you will wait the developers to be able to finish the testing, and then after that you will release it. So which is not a CI/CD or not a DevOps. So you need to automate the testing as well to be including in the lifecycle from code commit to publish to the App Store, for example. And the third point is shift left in security, which is what we are focusing or what we are focused on today. Shift left, so we will know more about shift left in the next slide, but shift left is like moving security testing and security scanning or security process to the left, which is early in the development. So if we found the issues or if we found the security problems in the development, even when we are committing a new code or creating a BR or maybe a new feature, this is for sure is better than we found this in the release or once we release the application. The 4th point is automate the deployment process, so how we can automate the application to deploy to the App Store, how we can automate the code signing for our application, how we can automate the process for uploading KStore, and so on. Support is data management, also how we can dealing with different data. If we are dealing with different countries in our application and different test data, how we can dealing with this data. And for sure, implement the continuous integration and the continuous delivery, which is, all of these things together will accelerate the process of DevOps or software development in general. So shift left testing, this is generally in testing, not only in security, but shift left means that usually, maybe some or like few companies are still testing on production. So once they release the application, they give it to the testers or the quality engineers, and they start releasing on or maybe they release the app itself and start testing on the production, which is shift right. But now, or shift right, now we need to move to shift left. We need to move to early stages. I believe with this concepts, with one approach like fail fast. If we fail in the BR, this is for sure better than that we fail in the release, or once we merge it or we are preparing the release or the APK is already deployed, and once we found incident or we found something or critical bug in the production, this is for sure will cost more, and also it takes time to investigate what is the root cause of this problem. But once we have a problem, just we create a BR and just start running the test. We have a new code, and now with every build we are testing, which is something continuously like continuous testing in this case, which will help us to indicate or to find the problems in early stages. Because the shift left is an approach of taking action of testing in general, but security testing here we are focused on security testing, and moving left in the delivery pipeline. And testing it can be including in the software development lifecycle. And now it's necessary for implement the security process from an early stages. So this comes with the DevSecOps concept. So we have DevOps. Sometimes you hear like a DevOps, a DevTestOps, DevSecTestOps. So this means that we are adding checks in the DevOps lifecycle. So this process is called DevSecOps. The mobile DevOps itself is like a continuous integration, and the continuous delivery is something continuous process to implement or to be able to release your application frequently with speed and with quality as well. So you have here 6 keys element for continuous. You have a continuous integration, or from the beginning, you have a continuous communication between the team. You have continuous planning, continuous integration. For each or for any change in the code, you are running a process to check that the application is built successfully or is building successfully, and you have a test is green or everything is OK. So we can then continuous deployment or continuous delivery, which is just a small change between them or a small like difference between them. This is with a manual except like with the delivery, maybe the release manager wanted to like approve the release at the end, or continuous deployment is totally automatic to the App Store. And for sure, you have a continuous testing and continuous monitoring as well. So once you deploy the application, this is not the end of the story, but you need also to monitor the application, maybe with a Firebase, Crashlytics, or any other service, or Bugsnag, or any other tool, to check what the behavior of the application. Maybe you have unexpected behavior in the application, which is something is not tested in the application. And now, additionally, with adding a security, like security was a responsibility for everyone, because that we have a mobile DevSecOps. We add the security in the lifecycle of the DevOps. So it's a collaboration framework that expands the impact of DevOps by adding security practices and the processes inside the CI/CD cycle or the DevOps cycle. And also resolve the conflicts and remove silos between the DevOps team, the security team, the release managers, the developers, the testers, and so on. So all of us now working with one process, and we have a clear vision of our process so we can like accelerate our builds or our application. And by integrating application security principles and the practice into software development and operation, teams can deliver now software and service speed with confidence as well. So we need to deliver, yes, quickly, yeah, okay, but it's not about just, okay, we are releasing every 2 weeks, this is not the goal, but we need to release a quality app, and we need to also to release secure application. Because as we know, mainly, we are now using our data in a lot of mobile apps, and especially during the pandemic, if you remember, we use it in like e-commerce applications, food delivery, and like any other data. We are using our personal data, our sensitive data, so security is important in this case. So now, what the security testing methods, or what type of testing methods that we have for security? We have a static security testing tool, which is SAST. It's to analyze the source code without building the application. So it's going to the source code, scanning it. Maybe it can find any vulnerability or any other problem related to the code itself. We have a dynamic, which is it's running the application and starts checking the application on the live device, and it starts like working with the app in real time, like the end user. So maybe it can find anything related to the security problems. You have interactive, which is combined between static and the dynamic. And you have a penetration testing or pen testing, which is testing the vulnerability, and such as a network, a server, web apps, a mobile device, and the other endpoint. So now let's assume that we have, now we need to choose which right testing tool is suitable for us. So for example, we have the CI/CD lifecycle from the CI/CD strategy. We start selecting the CI/CD strategy, and now we are like building the application, testing, releasing, monitoring, and measuring. So in each stage, you have a specific testing or security method you wanted to apply. For example, you have vulnerability scanning for releases. You have security acceptance testing and dynamic testing as well. You have a static when you are building your code base. You have a dependency management, continuous monitoring, live penetration testing, secure coding, peer review, and threat modeling. So this is mainly how you can differentiate between the different testing tools. And one more thing from Justin, he is a chief security officer at Unity. He said that the automated security testing is the future of mobile security. Because that today, I want to mention that adding security or automated security testing into our CI/CD pipeline is very important, because it will give us, because here he said integrating automated security testing into build and deploy cycle allow developers to do a security testing for mobile apps easily. So you can have it inside the life cycle, which is if you have any problem, you can find it early stages and so on. We have also, from OWASP, you have also another checklist. So OWASP has already provided us with a mobile app security checklist, which is mobile security standard verification. And you can find different things. And also in this link, you can find the Google Doc. So if we open this document, here you can find that's a Google sheet, and it's including different security checks based on the architecture. For example, here we have a section for architecture and design, threat modeling, and if we go down, something related to the data storage and the privacy requirement. Let's say no sensitive data. This is one of the issues or one of the threats or security that we shouldn't have, or we must not have this inside our application. Like no sensitive data is written in application log. And if we go to here, you can find different test cases, and this link to the GitHub repository for this test case. For example, I can click on this one. Here I can find this. It's related to testing in local storage, and here you can find the static analysis, what is the required practice to use this tool or this thing, and so on. If you go back to this and click on the other test case, you can find that it's related to checking log in sensitive data. So you should use doing these things to avoid these things. And if you go above, it's about OWASP. It's again from OWASP, and it's for the mobile security testing guild. You can find all the data, and also you can check the PDF or the book for this one, and it's trusted by Android and also different organizations. So this is about the security. So we need always to test about something like this, or we need to check the checklist, or to know the checklist to be able to how we can test against this checklist. Now we need to add the automated security test into our pipelines. Which tools we can use, or how we can integrate it. So if there is any open source tool we can use, or we need to buy any other tool or a third-party tool we can use. So here we just mentioned that when writing automated unit test or integration or any other type of testing, you need to think about add the security or automated security testing as well, because this will be a responsibility for all the team members to think about security, and it can be a security-first approach. In market, there are different testing tools. We have a third-party tool, but you should have an account with this tool, like Data Theorem. We have App Sweep. We have AppRay, Now Secure. And for open source, there is a mob security framework and the app tool or APK tool, which is like a tool for reverse engineering the APK and start scanning it. So today, we can demonstrate two tools, one open source and one from the third party, just to know how we can add this, like a simple way, how we can add this in our CI/CD pipeline. So let's assume that we are now designing our workflow or the CI/CD pipeline. And now we are talking about, OK, we have a step for check the repository, build the application for test, static analysis, run a step for static analysis, unit test, and automated security testing. Then if everything is OK, maybe we can start signing the application, because now maybe we can add more tests like functional testing, UI, end-to-end, and anything. But maybe after that, you can start releasing our application if everything is OK from the CI process. Like sign the application, send the application, or release the application to Firebase app distribution. For example, if you are using a beta testing or beta release, deploy to the Google Play Store, and publish the test result, and maybe you can send it to the team as a Slack message that what the result of this testing. And now, for example, let's apply this workflow in the Android CI/CD pipeline. So for example, here, with Bitrise is a CI/CD platform as a service, so you can connect your source code with Bitbucket, GitLab, or GitHub. You have steps for building the application, like Android build, or build for UI testing, or just build the APK, and also you have Android sign. And also you have a SonarQube scanner, which is like running a static analysis testing tool. And in the test tool, you can have you have different steps like Data Theorem, oversecured, AppRay, Dex Protector, App Sweep, and you can also add your any other open source tool and running on the script step, for example. And you have also steps for deploying to the App Store, Howie App Gallery, or any other, or App Center, for example, and send a Slack message or Microsoft team, and also sending the application to the quality testing or deploy to the App Store directly. So now let's have a quick demo about how we can integrate it into our CI/CD pipeline. So now this is the workflow. So now you have a visual UI, and here we have tool. So let's start with the open source tool. So for example, a mob security scan. OK, so here, what I'm doing here, so here I can go to the server. So this is an open source tool, and you can try it as an open source, and you can just, I'm running now a Docker container on an EC2, on AWS EC2, just to give me my personal version of this tool. But you can try it also, yeah, they have a live website. So this is, for example, you have a dynamic testing here, or dynamic analyzer, and you have a recent scan, and you have a static analysis as well. So let's assume that you are trying it from your local machine. So you can just click upload, and just select the APK, and now we are uploading the application for testing. They will start. It's quickly now because I have already version for this application, and they give you a report about what the issues or the security problems inside your application. For example, here we have 3 critical issues, or we have, this is the security score of our application. I'm using here like application, it's called the Insecure app. Let me show it. It's an insecure shop, and it's including a lot of vulnerabilities or issues just to demonstrate how the tools or how security scanning will start with this one. So this is mainly the problem, and here you can find the APK is signed, OK. We have here something for certificate. We have something for permissions. So this is dangerous because you have like a permission here inside your application is required or not recommended to use it. And you have also the API that uses in this application. You have everything related to the security, network security, manifest or code. We have a critical and everything related to this one. So from recent, this is what we have. You can have a static report. If you wanted to run dynamic, which is required the emulator or like a device, an Android device, if you click on dynamic, this will give you indicators that you should run Android emulator or device to be able to start live testing for the security issues. But this is for static code analysis. And this, I just running this on a server. And then after that, in the workflow, I can just like using curl with the API, because here I have also I have an API docs, and I have the key that I can use for this API for using it. So here I have upload file. So with this endpoint, you can upload the APK, and then the tool will start scanning your application. So in this case, I added here in the secrets, I add my API token. And then in the workflow, because this is not implemented as a step in our CI/CD pipeline, and this is a custom solution, so we can just add a script step and use a curl here. So we are uploading or taking the file from the APK path, because that I have Android build step before this step. This step will give me the application APK as an environment variable, and then I can use this one and go to the upload for scan. I can select the file, and then using this HTTP, this is the machine URL for the security testing tool, upload the file, and the authentication, I'm using the security tool. So then if I am running this, or if I already have a previous run for this one, just for because of the time. So I can here go to this. This is a success step, and here you can find the log, and this is like the static analysis. The success is already uploaded, and this is the hash key. So maybe you can use this hash code to like bring the result to your CI/CD file or to your CI/CD platform as well. Also, you can run this tool if you don't want it to. Just you need to run it like on your local machine. So if you go to another workflow, we have here tool. So it's using Python. So you just need to install this mobile security scan or framework scan, and then you can run inside the root of the application. So something like mob scan and a dot, and then the output will be a report file. And maybe you can copy the report file to be in the artifact tab, and then you can show the developer. This is because it's an open source tool. What if I wanted to integrate any other third-party tool as a security, something like AppSweep? Here we have a step for AppSweep, and also you can search about, for example, oversecured. You can have another tool for data security vulnerability. So if you have any account with a third-party tool, something like this we are using as well. I have already account. You can create your free account, and then I add the APK, and then select the build variant, and start running the application. Then if I go to the AppSweep, this is the view, and here, for example, I have the dashboard for my application, and then I found that I have different build. So let's run one of these workflow and check, for example, the AppSweep. Here we are selecting the branches that we wanted to run the workflow against, and for example, select this one and run the AppSweep. So for sure, you can use your own data. So once we have this, so you have here the number of builds. So I run almost 4 builds. And here you can find the report. The benefit here for AppSweep tool, they are collecting the vulnerability or the security issues based on the OWASP guide, which is that we checked recently. So for example, here you have 7 OWASP violations, which is if you click on this tool, you can find the details, and this is the OWASP. For example, here we have 2 related to the platform, 2 related to the network, 1 related to the code, crypto, storage. For example, if you click on storage, we can find that the app logs information, and here you can find that everything is listed here, or what findings in this tool. And also they providing, maybe they can provide also with a solution that we can be used. So now I'm triggering the build. I'm building the Android APK. Now I'm assembling the debug, because this is a variant that I am specifying for this application. And now I'm building. And once the application built, so I can just jump directly here. I will find that I have a new build and start building the application. And also we can run. So now we are like running the Gradle. And if you go to this one, so now we have already, we sent the APK with the API key as well. So now this scanning or the CSS is running now. And we will wait until we get the result. And in general, we have a total issues inside our application. We detected like 62 libraries inside our application. And here, this still analyzing or building our application. So if we start running with an open source one, so I can select this tool with this workflow as well. And now we got the build. Now it's a build number 5. And also we have 3 high issues. Maybe we can click, which will highlight the problems in this, something like notification security. And here you can have, this is, for example, you have Android debuggable true. This is a value is set in manifest, which is a high, or this is, again, this is a OWASP security check. So now we are building, again, our application to upload it to the, our recent scan. So here, you can also do like a compare between, or a comparison between 2 different like versions of applications. So for example, you can like select 2 and start like comparing. So here we have, if you have 2 versions, if you have 2 different builds, you can start comparing between the result or what we found like difference between this. This is a dangerous, this is like normal, this is, and so on. Everything related to the scanning. So we already uploaded our application, so it's uploaded here. And if we go to the recent file, now it's uploaded already, the APK, and now it's scanning or still like scanning the application. And here we have the hash. Maybe we can use another endpoint to bring the result to our CI server and start using it for another process. I can click on a static report just to like accelerate or like to speed up the process here. So this is mainly how we can use different like testing tools inside our CI/CD. So if we go back to the workflow, here maybe we can add, once we like found that we don't have any problem in the security, maybe we can have APK or sign stub, which will sign our Android application. And also in the code signing, you can upload your case store. You can upload your case store, which is this step will manage automatically the like signing the application. And then maybe after that, you wanted to upload it to the Play Store, upload to the Play Store. And also here you can specify your JSON service account JSON file, the package name, the APK file, and maybe the track you can just mention is will be beta testing or alpha, and just it. So now you integrate your security testing even with the open source tool or third-party tool, and start like continuously. And also for UI testing, maybe you can build your application. If you wanted to integrate it also in your CI/CD pipeline, you can build the application for testing, which is if you are using Espresso, for example, as a native testing tool, you can just specifying here which module you wanted to build, which is usually app. And maybe, for example, I wanted to run for debug application, which will give you two output, like a APK itself or the application under test and the test APK. Then you can have run the test, or you can add a new or another step for running this test on Firebase Test Lab, which is now you have maybe also, now you have, let me also run a unit. You can run Android unit test. So now you integrated different testing types. You have an Android unit test, you have a UI test, and you have a security check or security testing. And then if everything is OK, so you can start signing your application, deploy to the Google Play Store. So here, it's now give us the report. And maybe also we have here a scorecard with how the security or the application, our application is securing based on this tool. For example, here we have sign with debug certificate. We have algorithm for vulnerability and the debug enable for application, and they give you in which part inside your application is not protected, which is give you also the severity of the issues. So now, the benefits of DevSecOps is the more automation is better. Okay, by embedding automation, security control test developers, and also like DevSecOps increase efficiency. So now we are we know what inside our application, what the vulnerability or the security issue, we can start investigating or start fixing them early, and start running them again or running the UI test. And also help us for threat modeling, can identify the weakness areas inside our application. So just you wanted to apply or shift left, test early and often, or fail fast, choose the right security testing tool, and establish code standard at your team. So this is also a team decision, which security standard we need to apply inside our application. And finally, remember the security it's something we are not building it. It's something not like we are building something, we don't have we are not building something we are not construction or something like this. No, it's a journey, not a destination. It's something required to be patient and build a security strategy for our team. And the resources, here you can find the mobile app security testing. This is the guide for a mobile app security testing, and OWASP security testing guild as well. So you can find all the details that we discussed related to the threats and the problems or anything related to the security for mobile apps. I just wanted to mention in the last thing that tomorrow there is two related sessions to our session today. So I highly recommend to attend it. The first one is a security first Android apps. As Tarika from Shopify will talking about how build a first Android app, and also security mobile apps. Or Carlos from OWASP itself. So OWASP mobile security project lead, working on Now Secure, and I think this will be talking deeply about securing mobile apps with OWASP and the security testing guild. And thank you.